with the Yankees. The Yankee sticker goes on my wall all the time. Hey there, y'all. Bunkle here. Hope you've been having a great day. Hope every day is a blessed day for you and y'all. So I got here a stack of packs. We got ourselves, what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3 1989 Fleer rack packs. Awesome stuff could be found in here. What do we look for? What's the chase? Well, first of all, the Ripken. There's a bunch of different varieties, but everybody looks for the bad word baseball bat one. That could be pretty cool to find, but that would be early in the series, in the release. Don't think they're going to be in these rack packs, but who knows? You have the dirty word, you have a white box, you have a scribble, you have a black box. All, 4 different varieties, 5 different varieties. What else? You have the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card that could be in these. That's always a fun find. Randy Johnson with there's a sign behind him. Sorry about that call I had to take. So I was talking about the Randy Johnson. There's a billboard sign of a particular product behind him that could be visible or blurred out or not visible, or like they have all sorts of different color variations trying to get rid of that sign. Y'all could take a look at what it is, but it has to do with a product that they thought was not for children, but meanwhile cards were being marketed to adults and children and everything else and yada yada blah blah. So they had to get rid of the Marlboro sign. Anyway, whatever. There's also the Jeff Treadway card that has a target on his head, which it's a printing thing, but some cards got released with it, so pretty cool stuff. Anyway, let's get ripping some packs and see what we find in these. I mean, again, looking for rookie cards. There's also the BGO rookie card. That could be fun in here. There's other Hall of Famers that could be found in here, so who knows? We got Andy Allenson, Danny Jackson, Mark Salas, Joe Price, Mike Smithson. Badly centered stuff here. I mean, names are almost coming off the top. Look at that. Bottoms are huge. Glenn Braggs, Terry Clark, Steve Lombardarzi, Frank DePino, Chet Lemon, Lance McCullers, Joe Girardi looking all youngish there, and Mike Davis. And our sticker card is the Kansas City Royals. Okay, let's get the second cell going here. 89 was definitely a fun set, but of course then the chase card was Griffey. Everybody wanted to find the Griffey. All right, we got Luis Aguayo, Louis Meadows, Bob Boone, Dwayne Ward, Don Baylor, Steve Jeltz, Jeff Musselman, Sid Boreem, Tim Loudner, Doyle Alexander, Keith Moreland, Mike Capel, and Drew Hall. Jeff Hamilton and Chad Kreuter with the Yankees. The Yankee sticker goes on my wall all the time. That's just a me thing. Yep, Yankee fan here. As if you didn't know, if you've been watching this channel at any length of time, you'd know that. I mean, I'm a baseball fan, but definitely born Yankee fan, born not too far outside the stadium way back when. Like the old stadium. Not the old stadium, but the older stadium. All right. Cell number 3 going here. Candyman Candelaria, Buddy Bell, Brian Downing, Chris James, Cecil Fielder, Jeff Robinson, Alan Anderson, and we get to celebrate the checklist. Everybody celebrates the checklist. Woohoo, celebrate it. Yep. Got Mike Dunn, Eric Hansen, Willie McGee, Rick Cerrone, Jack McDowell, Norm Charlton, Johnny Paredes, and Henry Cotto. Why did I read Mike? And for the record, Greg Maddux on the Mets. Yeah, we don't put that on the wall. Nope, sorry. Greg Maddux, okay. Put him on the wall. Get a frapper going for him. Then we get to Racky number 2 here. See what we find in here. Not much at all in that one, that's for sure. That first one was dud. Dud spud, not a grade of potato. All right, we got Tim Tuffle starting us off. Greg Swindell, John Franco, Barry Jones, Kurt Manowaring, Jim Rice, okay, Hall of Famer, I'll take that. Rafael Palmeiro, Teddy Higuera, Willie Frazier, John Moses, Mitch Webster, Jeff Robinson, Andy Hawkins, Randy Kramer, and Miguel Garcia. Okay, and we got the Braves, the Cubs, the Royals, and the Brew Crew. All right, let's get the Jimmy Rice into a frapper so we can get it off that pack and get him up on the Wall of Fame, and then get to cell number 2 and maybe 3. All right, cell 2. And we'll do cell 3 at the same time. Why not? Cell 3 of the same rack pack. Maybe we'll get double the luck. Or half the luck. I don't know. See Larry Anderson, Jim Eppard, Manny Lee, Louis Polonia, Chris James, Cecil Fielder, Jeff Robinson, Alan Anderson. And we see another checklist. Celebrate the checklist. Have fun with the checklist because nobody else does. Mike Dunn, Eric Hansen, Willie McGee. Seems like we've seen these already. Rick Cerrone. For the record, Wade Boggs. All right, we got the Twins, the Yankees, the A's, and the Mariners. I'll put the Yankees one up over there next to the Yankee sticker. Seeing Larry Parrish. All right, Andre Dawson, Rob Deere, Chuck Finley, John Christensen, Mike Harkey, Alan Trammell. Okay, another one. Roberto Alomar. Okay, nice. Lovulo and Robert Palacios. Brian Holton, Curtis Wilkerson, Hubie Brooks, Brett Saberhagen, Ken Hill, and Dennis Cook. And we got the Cleveland, that's not Guardians, that's the Cleveland Indians, the Tigers, the Royals, and the Brew Crew. All right, a couple more cards to go up on the wall. Got the Roberto Alomar. Robbie Alomar goes on the wall, that's for sure. Alan Trammell. Now, there's always the argument that Lou Whitaker should be in the Hall of Fame also. I don't disagree. And Andre Dawson. Very cool. And then we got the Boggsy for the record card. And now we can get started with rack number 3. We still haven't gotten any of the big hits. Not even a BGO. What the heck? Come on. Give me a break here. This has to be the winner pack. There's going to be a Billy Ripken with at least one of those weird things. There's going to be a Randy Johnson with something, and there's going to be a Ken Griffey Jr. and maybe even a BGO, all in the same pack. I don't think so, but we'll see. Oh, maybe an Edgar Martinez also, just for fun, because Edgar Martinez had his rookie in this set also. All right, we got the whole stack of packs there. Let's get rid of all that trash. All right, what do we got here? We're starting off with Kevin Brownie. All right, well, good pitcher, but not Hall of Fame, unfortunately. Good career. Jesse Orosco, Mike Jeffcoat, Tom Foley, Charlie Leibrandt, Mark Grant, Richard Dotson, Alan Ashby, Jack Howell, John Cerruti, Lance Blankenship, Bob Denier, Jim Clancy, and another for the record, Maddox. Got the Braves, the Cubbies, the Royals, and the Brewers again. Kevin Gross, yeah, dude, that's gross. Paul Kilgus, Al Hall, like fathers, like son. Roberto Alomar and Sandy Alomar Jr. Very cool, okay. Tim Jones, Don Gordon, Lenny Dykstra, Jim Traber, Tom Filler, Mike McFarland. I feel like these are filler packs. Mookie Wilson, Willie Upshaw, Frank Williams, Don Paul, the Dodgers, the Expos, the Mets, and the Phillies. John Farrell, Cal Daniels, Lance Johnson, Mike Krukow, Dennis Lamp, Vance Law, Dan Plesac, Dan Petrie, Gene Larkin, Darren Jackson, Jack Morris, well, another Hall of Famer, Mark Davis, Lenny Harris, Marty Brown, Danny Heap, pile of heap, the Pirates, the Cardinals, the Padres, and the Giants. Well, you know, these were definitely some lightweight packs. I'm not 100% thrilled, but you know what? Some days that's how it does go. Anyway, great cards, but not the ones that we were looking for. But sometimes, yeah, as I said, that's how it goes. Either way, I hope y'all enjoyed. I enjoyed going through these with y'all. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and hit that bell button, because who knows what kind of stuff I'm going to be putting out tomorrow, next week, next month. I might just change stuff up, or I might have different kind of cards that you haven't seen before, or maybe some that you have. And you know what? Next video could be the crazy hit of the century. Who knows? Anyway, as I said, hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all take care. Stay well. Stay blessed. Bunkle out.